Denver and Jacksonville. And a very, very funny story coming out of not even the game because it hasn't happened yet, but from the travel over there. Russell Wilson on the plane ride to Jacksonville or to London was apparently working out for 4 hours on the 8-hour ride, doing high knees and stretches down the aisle throughout the flight. A very bizarre story. And just my first instinct of this is like, if I was on that plane, I would be like, dude, sit down
Paul,
and go to sleep.
We just had a freaking flight, an early flight home from Florida. I was asleep like 3/4 of the way home. And the other week, flying home from Vegas, I was asleep 3/4 of the way home too. It was just like, passed out like this, eyes shut, exhausted. If there's somebody doing high knees in the aisle, I don't care if he's my quarterback or my father or my mother or my cousin or my brother or my grandma or my grandpa. Go, stop.
These are also like enormous men. Like we used to travel, obviously for basketball. We didn't fly, but we'd bus around like the East Coast. We had some 7-hour, 8-hour, 9-hour bus rides. I'm not exact. The lights would be off since we're all bigger guys too. Basketball, we'd lay like perpendicular like this across the aisle. And if someone had to get up to even like pee, you'd be like, dude, like go sit down. If someone was on those bus trips running up and down the aisle, I'm not exaggerating, the bus would have been stopped and they would have been kicked off.
Look, this guy Russ is scoring like 9 points a week, doing high knees and waking up your teammates on 40,000 feet up in the air. It's not gonna do anything.
I'd be so mad.
I mean, when this story first broke, I figured that it was like some journalist leaking something to try and make Russ look bad. Then you realize, like, he went to the media and bragged about this. Like, look at me, guys. I'm so cool. I'm doing high knees and stretches instead of getting a good night's sleep. I'm doing useless workouts and bothering my teammates instead of preparing for the game. It's like,
and
he thinks this makes him look good.
Yeah, that's where it's kind of strange to me. It's like, does he really feel that much of a need to get attention on himself?
Yes.
That like it's just crazy.
He's a lunatic.
Why? First off, you don't have to be doing that. I wonder if the plane has some other area. I'm envisioning him running down the aisle like a lunatic.
It must have been a huge plane.
In my mind too.
He'd be hitting the ceiling on a regular plane. His knees would be breaking.
It has to have been like, tucked away somewhere. I can't imagine.
It's a massive plane the team charters, so maybe it is like a whole separate area.
I can't imagine him going up and down the aisle and just having like Cortland Sutton, like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Like, I get it if, like, whatever, the team doctors were there and he was in the back, like, laying down, getting stretched out and stuff. Okay, whatever, you're being quiet. But that is absurd, him doing high knees. I don't know how these guys are just accepting this.
I mean, if Denver comes out and hangs like 40 and wins this week.
Do whatever you want.
And do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, I'd have the whole team running and then high knees. But
the flight home, the whole team is doing high knees.
Yes.
But let's not forget, though, it's not like Russell Wilson's getting off the game and getting off the plane and playing the game in like 30 seconons, right? Like, it's literal days are going to pass. Like, it's just for show. Like, he's warming up days in advance.
I also
for this game.
I don't think he knows what jet lagged is. They're like, are you going to be jet lagged? That's how it came up. But he's like, no, I was doing high knees on the plane. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. It's about the time difference, not you running. If anything, you're making yourself more tired. Like, it made no sense.
I asked someone from the Volume today. I was curious if it had been reported that Tom Brady was doing this, and what the perception would be, what he thought the perception would be in the media. Because everything Brady does, it's ultimate competitor, ultimate winner, whatever it takes.
And he's got that weird pliability stuff. Like, he does a bunch of BS stretching and exercises he says makes him great.
But my coworker gave a good point. He's like, if Brady did this, it wouldn't even come up. It wouldn't leak. maybe Brady's done this before. I wouldn't be surprised if Brady was working on planes. But you don't why take on that media attention? Are you trying to pretend like you're better than everyone else? It's a very weird PR move. But like you said, Andrew, he's just kind of been fooled in this year.
He's strange.
He's a strange guy.
The Dangerwich thing, the Let's Ride. The guy is losing.
And he seems like a really nice guy. But just a little.
I don't know.
Weird.
Does he? The thing came out how that you can't contact him unless you go through his agent. Like, that doesn't seem like a nice guy to me.
No, is that what Sherman and Lynch are saying?
Yeah,
on the volume.
I don't think they'd be lying.
Yeah.
Whereas then McAfee said, he's like, yeah, Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and we're invited to like his little kid's birthday. You give him a call anytime during the day, he answers. Whereas Russell Wilson, this lunatic, if the wide receiver's like, hey, Russ, like, how do you want to attack this week? You can't even call him. So I don't know if he's a good guy.
I think Russ is... Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying those those memes. It's like Broncos country, let's ride, and it's like the ride is like a car spinning out of control like this. I see like 15 of those a day.
But he also has like the State of the Union meetings or whatever with the team. I think if you want to be a successful quarterback, and again, I've never played in the NFL or anything close to like.
You haven't?
I've never played anything close to that level, but I just imagine that the way to go about leadership is not just attention on you all the time like that. He doesn't really know how to be a leader, is what's very clear to me, and neither does Nathaniel Hackett.
Well, I'll tell you, Russell Wilson needs all this attention on him, because otherwise that attention is going to be going to the Broncos record and the head coaching decisions. And I think Russ would rather have people talking about how crazy he is for exercising in the middle of a plane flight than how terrible this team's been this year.
Hackett was probably snoring in the front as other coaches would be going over film. He's snoring in the front, passed out.
Wait, what's Denver? Denver's 2-4.
Denver's 2-4, and the reports are right now that if they lose to Jacksonville, Hackett will be fired.
I mean, Nathaniel Weinberger is probably 2-4 with the Broncos. He's doing no
They're
work.
2-5.
No, he'd be
They're
better.
2-5.
Yeah, he might be better.
He would have went for it
2-5.
on first down. On fourth
yeah.
down against the Seahawks and won.
My dad would have went for it on fourth down.
The Broncos are currently 2-5, Ziggy.
Yeah, they're currently 2-5.
They're terrible.
Nathaniel Weinberger can coach that team to 2-5.
And I think I could coach them.
Well, go ahead, Ziggy.
You've got to think there's a lot of resentment on this team, because especially towards Russell Wilson, the offense, because the defense has played absolutely lights out.
They're fantastic.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking, they're clearly the best defense in the entire league. There have been 3 games this year where they haven't given up more than 10 points. Now, 4 games, excuse me. Like against NFL offenses, that's crazy. So I have to think there's a lot of simmering, there's a lot of resentment, because if the Broncos could score 17 points, just hit 17 points.
I think they're averaging 14.3.
Andrew said last week-
14.3.
That's what I said about Zach Wilson.
Most points scored in Mile High this year was 16 by the Jets.
Yeah, the defense
Denver
has been
scored
off
If
the
they score
charts.
20 points a game, I don't know this off the top of my head. What are they, 6-1?
I mean, yeah, maybe they'd be pretty good. But
If they score 20 points a game, they are 6-1. The only team they've lost by scored more than 19 against them is the Raiders.
But Hackett from the very beginning, from week 1, remember the first game of the season against Seattle when he trotted out McManus to take how long was that kick? Like 66 yards or
64,
something?
I think.
No, it would have tied the NFL record.
Yeah,
66.
it
No,
was
66. Yeah,
ridiculous.
66.
But like from the very beginning, we saw that, and I believe they hired a clock management guy.
Yeah, that's
in Denver.
terrible.
Like whenever you need to hire a clock management guy, that should be a red flag immediately for any GM. And
I don't
George
think it's a
Payton just came
problem.
out and said that. He's like, or George Payton just came out and said Hackett's had more criticism than any head coach deserves, or the unprecedented
He deserves
criticism.
more.
Well,
But he deserves that criticism.
You have probably a top 3 defense in football who allows no points. You're 2-5 with these weapons on offense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Go ahead, Ziggy.
It's one thing to have to hire the clock management guy, right? But I think what's more concerning, if you say at the beginning of the season, look, first-time head coach, doesn't really know what he's doing. He's in a big new situation. He's never called plays. We're going to bring in the staff to support him. Great. But it seems like they didn't even expect that this was a possibility that Hackett wouldn't be prepared.
It just gets
to go.
worse and worse. I think that
Baffling.
Ripon, right? Ripon was in last
Yeah.
week. I think he threw 46 times. It's like he should not be throwing the ball 46 times in any game. It's just a lot of poor coaching decisions, and we'll see. Like you said, Ziggy, off air, they should lose to Jacksonville probably this weekend.
Oh, and we need to give the ball more to Melvin Gordon.
No, Melvin Gordon's horrible.
Yeah, he's horrible.
No, he's not horrible.
No.
Doesn't get the ball.
Let me
Doesn't get
clarify
the ball.
for anyone listening. Jack is saying that because Melvin Gordon's on his fantasy team.
Fair.
Melvin Gordon.
He's also a
has been-
fumble machine.
Melvin Gordon, he's so far in his head about fumbles. He has been terrible this season.
Boy, it's not like he's gaining yards
like-
when he's not
I
fumbling,
don't
right? 3.5 yards a carry.
They're just terrible. They can't throw, so everyone has 8 guys in the box. Then
But that
they
game
run it
against-
right into it. Then it's 3rd and 10, and then Russ sees nobody and runs out of bounds.
The game against the
It's horrible.
Chargers, right? You lose. What did they lose by that game? 3.6.
3. They should have won.
3 point. They covered.
Yeah, they should have won.
But the run game was terrible. Melvin Gordon had 3 carries. Why not bring him in?
Well, were they in that game?
Let him have some opportunities.
I don't know. Well, they have Murray and Gordon.
I mean, they gave him 15 carries against the Colts for 54 yards. They gave him 11 carries against the Jets for 33. Opportunity is not the
He's
problem.
pretty bad.
It's just
12
bad
for
draft.
26 against San Francisco.
It's a bad draft pick.
But
Jeff.
are the other? Well, no. My draft was Javonte Williams, and I just handcuffed
I
him.
also
They're
had
both
Javonte
bad picks. They were both bad picks.
Oh yeah. In hindsight, I guess
honestly?
Williams was.
Well, I thought the Broncos offense would be good. Russ would be doing his play action rollouts,
Yeah, well,
and they'd be running the ball down people's throats.
One would have thought. One would have thought they'd be
One
good.
would have thought.